Okay, I believe we're live, and we came on a couple minutes early to say hi to UCA, Bever Forden, and to Lindsay on a little bit early. CA is from Northern Arizona. I am 5 miles from Northern Arizona.
Oh,
So I am right there. So I should have gone outside and just yelled hi.
is that the city? I mean, in St. George, there's that little block. There's like a line, and the other side is Northern Arizona. Is that the?
Yeah.
Is that what you're
Yeah. If
talking
you go
about?
straight down River Road
Yeah,
to the end,
yeah.
that's Northern Arizona right there.
Dang. Okay. That's why the gamblers in Utah are always parked on that street because it gets to Arizona and they can make their bets on that street, I think.
Okay. Okay.
Well,
Okay.
thanks for being on with us today.
Yeah, we can't rely on Kimberly for the fun banter in our heavy topics today.
Where's Kimberly?
She's multitasking. She's on, but
Oh,
she doesn't have her hands available. She's multitasking. Don't
oh,
ask her what she's doing.
okay. I will
Um,
not.
okay. And we are on. The gang is here. Let's get started. We're going to have a different topic today. Instead of question and answer, we're going to have question and ponder, or question and speculation. I don't know. We'll call it Q and whatever it turns out to be. But let me tell you all a little bit of background of why we chose this topic. A few of you, a number of you, very caring individuals have asked Adam and I and warned Adam and I, hey, Chad's trial's coming up. You're going to go through stuff again. How are you preparing? Are you sure you're all right? We really appreciate that concern. Um, and we throw that concern right back at y'all. Anyone that's listening to this, anyone that's an optimist, because you're going to go through those trials too. And I don't know how much of it you'll follow. I don't know how much of it we will follow. Um, if it gets too heavy, we probably won't follow the day to day. But the point being, it's going to take an emotional toll on all of us. And I'm talking about this because Lindsay is such a good friend to us. And the other day, she warned me about a podcast that was on that had some heavy review of Lori's trial. And she said, you may not want to watch that. It goes back through pictures and heavy topics. And I've said before, I was at trial when those pictures and the heavy topics came out. And so, actually, Lindsay, I went back and watched that just to see how healed I am. I'm not saying I am healed, like completely healed, but here's my thought, and here's my current thought on being healed. Being healed doesn't mean I don't get sad again when I hear that, doesn't mean I don't cry, doesn't mean I don't feel the grief. Being healed means I can move forward with it. I have learned to move forward with it and not let it get in my way of doing anything in day-to-day life. Not and when it's such a burden that it stops you from doing everything, you're still processing, you're still moving forward, still trying to heal it. And I want to share, if I can figure out how to share my screen. I had it a few minutes ago. But the post, oh heck, I can't find it now, so I'm just going to have to go to it and read it. Um, Here it is. Darlene Butler, thank you, Darlene, posted this today. It says, time doesn't heal your grief, it teaches you how to wear it. Okay, so I feel good that I'm wearing the grief from the last trial and everything we found out there. And so that's why I want us to talk about as a group, as a community, in the comments. I'd like to hear what you plan, not how you plan to grieve, what you're hoping to get out of Chad's trial. Because we know we all overhope, because we all want all of the information. We want all of our questions answered. And we know we aren't going to get them all. But let's start hearing so we can talk about what questions you want answered from Chad's trial. Adam, I'll go first. I'll give you a shot, and then we'll look for comments along those lines.
All right.
I know it's a little bit heavy topic. We'll probably throw in some pickleball along the way and some other light topics, but we want to kind of prepare as a group because Chad's trial is coming up. It's only 6 weeks away, unless something else happens, which could happen. But I am hoping to get the questions answered about the two questions. One, were the killings a ritual killing? And two, what chance do we have of finding everyone that was involved in any way in those killings and bringing them to the justice that this world can offer? So those are my two big hopes out of it. Adam, what are you hoping to get out of Chad's trials?
I guess that too. And then also knowing, maybe trying to find out more about where Lori and Chad were with their philosophy and the people that were following them. What did that look like, or who followed them, I guess. And was anybody else involved with that whole process? How many people knew about the kids? How many people followed them and didn't know anything about the kids? Can we get those things answered? Those are important to me to be answered as well. But the problem I was thinking about is, like, when I watch Chad's trial, if I watch or figure out what's going to happen in there, is there going to be something that I speculated that happened? And if I did speculate it, it actually did happen, and we get the answers to that, even though I feel like that's what was going to happen. How am I going to handle that? Mm-hmm. My problem is, there's days where I have really good days, and there's days where I have really bad days. And it's hard to figure out during the trial how to keep myself balanced, I guess. Like you said, being healed is not completely being healed and you're done with it. But, like you said, trying to move forward with your life, trying to live a day-to-day basis without it holding you back from, like, back in the day when I couldn't get out of bed. That's holding you back. That's when you're not healed. That's when you can't seem to go forward. You have a lot of issues with that. But I think hopefully that trial will give us answers. And then, even though I think the answers are going to, if they are the answers, I'm waiting for those to be the answers. I still don't know if that's going to be hard to handle, even though I'm probably expecting those answers.
Yeah. We don't know till we're in the situation for that. A couple comments I want to put on the screen here. Here's a question that's on all of our minds from Kim Nix. How did they think they would get away with this? That's such a good question. And
if you think about just one specific thing, Lori and Chad go off and they get married. Okay. Their spouses die. Say that the police never find out that Charles was murdered and Tammy was murdered. Maybe they get away with both of those. But then, Lori, where are your kids? That's going to come up. I mean, you can't just hide. You and Chad are hiding and saying the kids are other places, and 3 months goes by and nobody sees them or hears from them. How are you getting away with that? And my answer to that is, I believe that Lori and Chad thought the Lord was coming before them. The end of the world was coming because they were all in on the end of the world type of stuff. Maybe they convinced themselves, or Chad's like, this is a date that's going to happen. We don't have to worry about anything else. The world's going to be in such corruption. There's going to be a huge earthquake, and there's going to be this. It's going to be chaos, and no one's going to be able to, think about where the kids are. It won't be like living normal. That's, in my mind, that's what I think that they thought.
Yeah. In their deranged alternative reality.
Yes.
Yeah. We'll see if we get some more information on that one, Kim, when the time comes. Let's see. In fact, this is one for the merch store. And yes, Kimberly and Lindsay are all over this one, Kathy. Kathy Somerville asked, "Hey, Adam, have you thought about making and selling bracelets?" I think the merch store is on that one. That was one of their first ideas.
So I got bracelets. I wear bracelets all the time. This one is Tylee and JJ's bracelet. I don't know if you could see it, but anyways, and then these are my pickleball bracelets. So I like wearing these rubber bracelets. I mean, I don't know why. They just remind me, when I look down at my wrist, it reminds me of certain things. So yeah, I'm a fan of bracelets. So
Yeah.
if I got an Optimist one, or if I got a Silver Lining Podcast one, I would wear it. No doubt about it.
Yeah, and maybe for Chad's trial, the merch store will do, one about Tammy. In fact, Tammy's niece,
And
Tammy's niece sat next to me at one of the trials and gave me. I don't have it on right now, but gave me. Yes, I'm showing it that I don't have on.
I don't wear those. Rex is like, I do not wear bracelets.
I do. I wear that one at appropriate settings. One to remember Tammy, and I'm all for that too. So yep, Adam is on that one. Here's a nice thought, Adam. I'll read it to you. You can comment if you like. From Kelly in the UK. Hey, from the UK, Great Britain. I finally got my book and read it today. Yay! Takes a little longer for the people overseas.
Yeah.
Not the reading part, the getting the book. Amazing, Adam. Your parts about Zach really got to me. So emotional. Please give him my love and sending prayers and strength to his healing.
Yeah, I got to tell you, writing that part of the book, I'm glad you got to feel what I was writing, because I was crying the whole time I wrote that. And then when I did the audio book, reading that part, I literally broke down. It's so emotional, especially when you have kids and you love your kids so much, and you don't want your kids to suffer. And seeing your kids go from being the happiest person and involved with the family and just, joking around, to just being crushed. It's like going from A to Z like that. And, watching Zach have to go through that really tore me apart. As far as, and as long as, and all the other stuff on top of that, obviously, but yeah, so I'm glad you enjoyed the book, and that part too. Yeah. I hope that the book was healing for you as it was for me writing it. And, Rex feels the same way. As we were writing stuff, we both feel like that helped us heal. We're not completely healed, but it helped us on our healing path.
And if I could pay tribute to Zach, I hope he doesn't mind, but Adam and I didn't live close to Lori. In fact, I was trying to think, Adam, I don't think I lived within 1,000 miles of Lori from the time after I got out of college. Okay. Still see each other at family events, had a lot of interaction. Zach was living with Lori up until a couple days before, or a week or two before Charles was killed. So Zach was fresh front and center, and he went through a lot, and I'm glad he's doing as well as he's doing. That's
when I was writing my book, before me and Rex decided to collaborate and do a book together, I remember asking Zach to write a chapter about his experience, and he wrote the most incredible stuff. And I don't think he wanted me to publish it with me and Rex's book, but eventually, hopefully one day, he'll allow us, or he'll share that with you, because, you want to talk about it. It's amazing the way he wrote it, what his feelings were, what he saw, what he experienced. And that was at a young age. I think he was 18 when all this was going down.
Wow. Isn't that interesting? Your son does that great writing. My daughter did the best interview I saw out of all the interviews at the trial. I thought, why am I doing interviews?
Yeah,
Christy should be doing the interviews. Hers was the best, talking about what the trial was doing for her to give her closure. I thought that was a beautiful. So, man, we did something right, Adam. We raised pretty good kids.
Yeah. He's one of the good ones.
Okay, thank you for asking this question, Anna, because this was number 3. I didn't want to do too many questions to start off, but it's my number 3, or related to this. Anna's question is there a cult offshoot still? I want to read between the lines. And my question is close to it and was maybe not too close, but I'm going to throw mine in with it. Were the killings ritualistic? Meaning there may have been, in my mind, there may have been an occult, not cult, but occult connection to it. But I think Anna's is more along the lines of, are there people that were involved that are still out there believing this or possibly posing a threat to other people? Is that the thinking, Anna? We have Anna on camera, so we can see her nodding. So
Right. I feel like almost opposite of that. I feel like the people, like when we talked to who do we interview? Was it Trish or gosh, who was the last one we interviewed that was saying that she's drinking the Kool-Aid?
Trish.
Trish. Yeah. So with that, Trish drinking some of the Kool-Aid, right? And then once things to getting a little bit wacky and a little bit crazier, before knowing the kids were dead or anything like that, she was backing off more and more as she got. I'm wondering, in my mind, I feel like a normal person would, if they're following that to a certain thing, and then when they find out that Lori and Chad, had the kids killed and their spouses killed, once murder starts going in, then I think people like, what was I thinking? It's a wake-up call. This smack them in the head like in a cartoon and all this, stars go off. I feel like that would happen to them and they would just want nothing to do with it after they figured out, what was I thinking? But again, nothing would surprise me if there are people that are like, oh, well, Chad is in prison right now, but when he wants to get out, he'll get out and he'll get Lori out and we'll be back on our I just don't know if there's anybody like that, but I mean, who knows?
Yeah, we don't know. So with her, and that fits this theme perfectly. Those are answers we would like to get, aren't they, Anna? about all of that, and find out if there are other people, who they are, and how will they be held accountable? Or did they make deals so they could contribute to the prosecution of the primary criminals here? But
yeah, because after reading text from several other people besides Chad and Lori, you start feeling like they were drinking the Kool-Aid. But again, timeline. Once the kids were found, there was no more texting going on, right? Mm-hmm. Because Lori got arrested, and then weeks later,
Chad got arrested. Lori was in prison already.
Okay, so I don't know what the timeline is before that of how many people were following them before all that happened, and then when that actually did happen, all the texts. When did the text stop between when Lori obviously went to prison? She wasn't texting anybody. Yeah. But when Lori was in prison, how many texts came from like Zulema or whoever, like to Chad? Like, I wonder if they continued to text once Lori was arrested.
Yeah.
That's interesting. And we may find that out in Chad's trial.
We might. We'll look forward to that. Speaking strictly rumor mill now, I can't say. I love it when Lauren Matthias in Hidden True Crime says, well, according to a very reliable source, because when she says that, it really is a very reliable source. She is very good at that. I am talking about the opposite. According to complete speculations that I've heard, so there's no reliability here. One, I've heard of people who think there were people who witnessed the killing of the children. So in other words, it was ritualistic and other people were there. And two, when Lori got arrested, and then especially when they found the bodies, those people scattered like rats off a sinking ship. There's a mass exodus out of the area where they lived. So I'm hoping we can get more information on that. I'm actually going to go up to Idaho. Adam, you'll probably go with, I imagine, and do some background work on that. But I'm hoping more of that will come out during the trial.
Yeah.
So Tori, I'm putting up Tori's comment. And very gracious comment. Thank you, Tori. Prayers and thoughts for your entire family, especially during Chad's trial and Lori's. And I put it up there so I could say right back at you, Tori. I don't think our family are the only people that are affected by this that need prayers and that will need healing. I think anyone's senses and sensibility are offended by this evil, by what happened. And when we're offended by something evil, we need to process it and get through it. We all need some type of healing. Now, some people, as they have pointed out to us, are just listening out of interest, out of morbid curiosity, and getting details. That is fine. Everyone's has their own motivation. But for the people that are offended, and I think with this optimist group, I think if something offends one of us, it's going to be offensive to everyone because we're of the same, I don't know what the right connecting word is, the same spirit, the same ilk, the same,
Yeah.
We have a lot of similarities. And so thoughts and prayers with everyone as we get ready and go through this, Tori. But thank you for that thought. And Victoria's going to be there. She's going to Chad's trial as much as she can. More power to you. And Adam, you and I haven't talked about this, but I don't mind talking to you in front of our friends here. Why haven't we tried to get Justin Lum or Nate Eaton on the podcast?
Well, we can. I mean,
Yeah.
I thought we tried to get Nate on, and I don't think his boss let. Oh no, that was
No,
for
that
the
was that was to write a forward for the book. I'm going to ask him.
Yeah.
Just because I would like to hear from them. You know, they had to go through the same emotional cesspool that the rest of us did. Probably even more. They paid more attention. They dedicated life energy to it, sacrifice from family members, their normal life. How do they cope with it? How do they deal with it? I'd like to hear that. So I'll ask them this coming week if they'd like to come on.
Yeah, I think people mention to me all the time. They're like, "Your son did the most incredible interview with Justin Lund."
Yeah.
And so they and you and I have been on his show a couple of times or interviewed with him as well.
Yeah. Yeah. And Justin says that too. He loved his interview with Zach.
Yeah.
I don't know that he's ever said that about his interview with us.
I've never heard that either. It's like, oh, you guys are okay, but Zach really he struggled.
As it should be. Okay, Anna's really serious about this, Adam.
Okay.
She wants to know about portaling to a pickleball match. Do you have a hookup there since you're Lori's brother and you do pickleball? Do you have any kind of connection that will bring those two together?
That'd be great though. Portal, like literally, I was kind of jealous when Lori and Chad had a portal because I was like, how do I get one of those? I want to walk into my closet and just show up somewhere and just come right back to your closet when you're ready.
Just get into the same delusional alternative universe they're in. And
I know this, my schedule and my time I would have a lot more time on my schedule if I could just be like, okay, I'm going to be here now, walk into the portal, then go right to the pickleball court.
Well, the trouble is you're talking about living in the real world where you have to show up for your job.
Oh,
it's not going to happen through the portal.
Gotcha.
Your pretend fantasy may put you on a pickleball court, but you're wanting to be there live.
I actually have to play. I can't just like like the Jetsons. You ever see that cartoon with George Jetson, the dad? He has a new workout and he just dreams it. He looks up on the screen and the screen is him working out and he's laying in bed. He goes, "Oh, that was a great workout." I was like, why can't that be life, please?
Well, most of the rest of the Jetsons is here, so that may be next.
That's true.
Flying cars are on their way.
Yes.
Do you see? I happen.
I just saw that.
The Jetsons?
No, that flying car that just came out. They call it the. It's like the name of a bug or something. But if you have $100,000, you can buy a plane that flies you around the same area that a car goes.
I don't want to fly a plane that has the same name as a bug that you can just swat out of the air.
But it's an airplane. You get places faster. You don't have to worry about traffic or anything.
Yeah, but swatting it out of the air is not comfortable for me.
Okay.
That was my big fear out of pilot training. That's another story.
Oh, okay.
I have
I like hearing your stories, so you can tell them anytime you want.
Okay, we'll save these other people. I'll tell you later. But Lindsay, I happen to have my phone here standing up, and Lindsay just texted to you and I. She didn't even put it in here. She said, "Ask on the live who is on the dating app, Adam." Do you want to find out who that was, or do you know?
I have no clue.
Adam, he sent a text earlier today. He said, "This just happened. I'm getting off the dating apps."
I'm not going to be on dating apps anymore. I think I'm done with that.
And one of our optimists says, "Oh my gosh, it's Lori Vallow's brother. I listen to your podcast. I love it." I'm thinking that's pretty positive, Adam.
I just tried a dating app and I'm like, I'm not doing this anymore. this is not me.
I think
I might just like, I was thinking about this earlier. I was like, dating, it just seems like it's just so daunting. There's so much involved with it. And my life is so busy with all the things I have going on. I don't know if I can have time for that.
It's daunting, but what if you ended up with someone like Lisa?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like obviously the reason you go through all that is to find the person that you're supposed to be with.
Remember, I met her online.
And so when you got divorced, Rex, what was the time frame between when you got divorced, you married somebody, divorced them, and then you met Lisa? But what was it? 10 years to find your love of your life?
No, that all happened in 3 weeks.
No, but I mean, from the time you were single to
just
you met
kidding
Lisa.
On that. Just kidding. People say that about Mormons.
Yeah.
Let's see. I met Lisa 2012. All that stuff happened. I met Lisa. 10 years.
So I have to wait. I've already waited I've been divorced for 3 years.
You don't have to.
I've been 7 more years of trying to.
You don't have to make the mistake second marriage. You don't have to do that. You can skip straight to
I can skip one of your steps and just go right to that.
Yes. Do not follow my example. Remember early on, we had a troll that kept saying, finally we blocked her. One of the 9 people that had been blocked the last, 9 months we've been doing this.
Yeah.
But she kept saying, you shouldn't take any advice from Mormons or from divorced men. And I thought, you're darn straight. You should take no advice on relationships from divorced men, especially twice divorced. So I'm with her on that.
Yeah. No advice from us ever.
So Adam, no, you do not have to follow
your protocol.
Actions. Just the one thing to follow, find a Lisa out there.
Right.
Okay, back to the topic.
Real quick, before we go to the topic, I got to bring this up. At our last live, which Rex and I were in Scottsdale. So Rex and I were in Scottsdale. We did a meet and greet in a live. Was it last Saturday?
It was like 3 weeks ago.
Was it that long?
Yeah.
So one of our optimists, her name is Lori. We had Lori and Terry that showed up, and she made us something. So I want to give her a shout out. Thank you, Lori, for my bag. I don't know. I don't think my pickleball will fit in. My paddle won't fit in there. But if I go does this look okay if I just do this? If I just put it on my shoulder? I don't even know what to do with the bag, but
as long as it matches. And I don't even know if orange and blue match. I guess so. The Broncos.
I'm wearing purple. What am I wearing? A Utah State. I didn't even know where. I found this in my closet today. I didn't even know I had this shirt. I was like, oh, all right. Anyways, back to. Thank you, Lori, for showing up and for giving us that. Good luck at the farmers market.
And thank you, Lori, for my bling bag. Similarly, mine's in the mail because I left it in Arizona to be shipped, and I haven't got it. Way to go. So I guess it's only 2 weeks ago.
Way to go. That's what I thought. It wasn't 3 weeks ago. But of course it wasn't last week either.
Yeah, I think it actually was last week.
I knew it. I hate when I write and you talk me out of me being right.
Yeah, I think it was. So thank you, Lori, anyway, for both those things. Okay, so putting Gina back up here. Gina Henderson says what she wants is some sort of accountability from Chad would be nice, but I'm certain will be doubtful. with you 100% on that, Gina. Wouldn't it be great if someone in that group took responsibility? But that's not what people like them do. People with their mental illness, and not even a mental illness. I don't know if narcissism's a mental illness, but that's just a characteristic of a narcissist. You don't even have to be severely mentally ill to not take responsibility. In fact, it's kind of, unfortunately, it's a little bit of human nature. Most people tend not to take accountability. Adam, prepare for it. Coming up for an ad for your program. Most
Yes.
most people do not take accountability. Adam, how can we overcome that?
Okay, here's what we do. We have a plan. We have to be accountable for what we're doing. You want to lose weight. You want to do something that you never thought you could do. You want the job you want, whatever it is in your life. As long as you have somebody that holds you accountable, you can do it easier than you can by just holding yourself accountable. When you add somebody to that list, it becomes like one of these things where it just enhances it and helps you and keeps you on track of doing what you're going to do. And yes, coming up soon, I am starting a new venture where I will be, it's weird to say, coaching and helping people be accountable for what they are promising to do for themselves.
And Rachel calls that peer accountability. That's kind of nice to be thinking of being accountable to a peer as a
I like
nice
that.
connotation for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So yeah, doubtful that Chad will be part of that program.
No, he won't be joining.
And the people that are on our Patreon account, we aren't ready to talk about it yet, but some of the early people probably get discounts on that.
Oh, that'd be great.
Okay. Curly Grandma says, not my grandma, obviously. I think this might be my first live regarding Chad's trial. Well, welcome, Curly.
Thank you for joining us live on a Sunday afternoon.
Regarding Chad's trial, will he throw her under the bus? And if he does, will we ever know her reaction? I think if we took a poll, would have probably 90% say yes, he'll throw her under the bus. And I wouldn't be surprised. We don't know, Curly, of course. So we're speculating. This is a question and speculate. So we're speculating. I don't think she'll even blink. I think she'll think, yeah, this is all part of it. Or maybe she'll just think whatever. But I don't think it would phase her if.
I think maybe if depending on what he says, maybe give a reaction out of her, or maybe her question herself or question what they think is going to happen. Maybe depending on what he says and what he does. But like Greg said,
we never know it. That's her question.
Yeah, that's the question. Is like we're not going to be in jail, so we're not going to understand or what she's thinking, and she's never going to say anything
coherent. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And Katie did. I would like to find out what role he played in Charles's death and Brandon's attempted murder. Was he behind the scenes calling the shots? That would be good to know. I know that the prosecution felt, at least what they expressed, they said they don't have enough evidence to bring that charge, to bring the conspiracy charge against Chad. That's why you're only seeing it against Lori.
But yes, was he involved in it? Yes, definitely. There's been texts between Lori and Chad about Charles and why he's still alive and all these things that Chad he's going to die in a car wreck. And he's, just weird stuff that he was putting in Lori's brain as well. So I know that, he's definitely had something to do with it. And I'm sure Lori pressured once Lori and Alex, killed Charles, and then Lori wanted him to kill his wife as like he said he was going to, or she was supposed to die. Chad was like, oh, she's going to die soon of a natural causes or whatever it was. And she wasn't dying. And I think, wasn't there a text or something? Lori's like, well, you need to take your part or do your part or whatever it was. I'm sure it was going back and forth.
Yeah. There's a lot of energy around who was the leader. Was it Lori or was it Charles? I just,
Chad.
Chad, thank you.
We know Charles was not the leader of that
He was
group.
not the leader of that.
No.
I go with the idea that these are just two warped, evil people conspiring. In my mind, it doesn't even matter who's
who. It doesn't
if
matter
there
who's in
is
charge.
a leader or not.
Yeah,
They're both
on the same. They're both on the same road. That's the
both
problem.
evil, both accountable.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but even with that, we don't know. So, Adam, this is for you from Victoria. Did Chad make your brother do it, or did he help? What do you think? Speculating now. It would be nice to find out, but what do you think about that?
I don't know. I know that at some point Chad had a huge what's the word I'm looking for? Influence on Alex. Alex gravitated to Chad. Chad gave him several blessings, told him he was an angel from another life. Like he gave him all this stuff. And so Alex he bought in. I don't know how he bought in, but he bought in. And because he bought in, I'm sure whatever Chad said, this needs to happen. Alex is okay. Let's get this done. In my mind, that's how I feel like it went.
All right. Some good insight here from Kimberly. I don't know how she got her hands free because she was multitasking, but she did.
Kimberly,
like this, said, I think given that the death penalty is still on the table, his defense will be forced to lean into incriminating Lori for the first time. This is here where we will see the cracks start. Good insights, Kimberly.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a huge possibility of happening.
Mm-hmm. Good deal. Oh, and here's Lynn. I told you Lindsay texted this and talked about you on the dating site.
Yeah.
Apparently she was kidding and I wasn't supposed to bring that up. So now I'm in trouble.
So at least I'm not in trouble. Usually I'm the one that talks and shouldn't say what I'm saying or whatever.
Nice comment, Kim Young. Thank you. Hello, new to this case. Have watched you both some. You are funny together. We don't know if that's funny, haha, or funny, strange, but we take it as positive anyway, Kim. So.
We're going to, anytime you're trying to diss us, we're going to think, oh, that's a great compliment. Thank you.
Yeah.
We have no idea we're getting clowned.
Okay. Kathy has this. We are aching to tell you the audiobook is out. We were hoping to hear about it last Wednesday. Kathy asks, is the audiobook out yet? No.
Close.
But maybe tomorrow.
Right. It's close. We've done everything. So now it's just a matter of just getting it where it needs to be and having it all done. So yeah, we're getting close.
It's the release process that's out of human hands, apparently, is how that works. But we've done our work. Aiden's done his work. Aiden Harris, Jane's son, has done a lot of work on the audio. We appreciate that. And we haven't shouted out Jane for a while. We still love all the work she's done. Stay tuned from some exciting ideas from her in the not too distant.
Oh, our publicist team has been fantastic.
Yeah.
Trying to handle all the crazy stuff that happened with the book that got sent out, the audiobook, which you had to deal with Rex and I trying to read and cry at the same time, trying to get that thing done. They've done an incredible job. And then I was supposed to write something for a month, and I didn't write the answers to some questions. I did that this weekend, so hopefully they got all that.
Shout out to Lisa, texted in, said she's watching. Thank you, babe.
Where's she at?
She's in Michigan. Went up to visit her son.
Oh, nice. I didn't know you were writing solo.
Yep. Just me and...
I didn't get the invite to come.
Well, I didn't have a party.
Oh, okay. Never mind then.
Let's see. Adam, Tori wants to know, makes me wonder if Zach will be part of Lori's trial down in Arizona.
So my mom or somebody asked me, have the prosecutors reached out to Zach? I talked to Zach today. and he didn't mention it. So I'm sure if they reached out to him, he would mention it to me. He's worried about doing it. He doesn't want to do it. I'm worried about doing it. I don't want to do it. We know that at some point, if we have to, we're going to do it. And I don't know Lori's trial now. Somebody posted on our Facebook page in our community that Lori's trial should be starting, I think, August 1st. And so I would think that the prosecutors would be reaching out to whoever they're going to be using. And so, but that has not happened. So don't know.
Okay. And these questions probably all went in at the same time, went in queue, because a couple people are asking if we think Chad's defense will make this all about Lori and Alex and throwing Lori under the bus. So we've just talked about that, and yes, that's very, very feasible. Okay. Kate Watts, hello from Ontario, Canada. Just came on. Love the podcast. Thank you, Kate. Thanks.
I played against two guys from Canada in pickleball this week. They were good. I didn't know pickleball is so good in Canada. Those guys were really good.
Yeah. So
I won, but we won.
We're so good. Well, of course I beat them.
Well, we lost. We lost the first two games and then won the next three. So we won the best 3 out of 5. So yes, we won, but barely.
Okay, back to a trial type question. Joy asked, Joy, who got her book finally, probably the longest wait in all of community-dom, our community, was Joy. She said, do you think the items will get Chad convicted? Are you referring to the items they took the pickaxe out of the tool shed, or what items are you referring to? But I can say, I think there will be a mountain of physical evidence and then an overwhelming mountain range of circumstantial evidence that will get him convicted. I don't think it'll just be any one thing, like the pickaxe or, I think there's just an overwhelming amount.
I'm sure the FBI collected a bunch of stuff in his backyard where they dug up the kids in his on his computer. I'm sure they have a ton of stuff, circumstantial and hard.
Yeah. Follow up from Joy on that. What's your high score in pickleball?
My high score? I mean, I don't know what that means.
Something to nothing over three matches.
Oh, well, if you pickle somebody, that means you win 11-0. And yes, I've pickled somebody.
Have you pickled them a whole series, like 3 out of 3 or 2 out of 3, however that works?
Yes. And I got yelled at because we beat these.
Because it was your mother.
No, some guys you should at least let them score 1 point. We won 2 games, 11-0, 11-0. And he goes, that's just mean. I was like, we're in a tournament. You're trying to win every point. Anything can happen. So, the guy yelled at me. He was like, you should have just let him win at least 1 point. And I was like, well, they have to win the point, don't they? I don't know.
So Adam is ruthless is what he's saying.
Sorry, I have the eye of the tiger. I'm out to win.
But he's very polite on the pickleball court.
Thank you, Rex. You witnessed that.
Yeah, very polite. But you're all about just smashing them into oblivion. And Tori has a pickleball follow-up asking if you can explain the kitchen. She knows, but others might not know. Can you explain what the kitchen is in pickleball?
Well, it's different. Ping pong and tennis, people say, well, pickleball is a lot like that. The thing that separates tennis from pickleball is the kitchen, where you can't get close to the net and smash it. You have to stay outside the kitchen, which is, I don't even know how many feet it is, 4 feet. And so then it just keeps you away from smashing balls. You have to learn how to do more technique and more finesse and that kind of stuff. So, yeah, that's the kitchen in a nutshell.
Okay. Back to the case. Here's an idea from Tammy Morgan. She said, I would love to see the survivors of the Lori Chad serial killings do a book. Colby, Zach, Melanie, you, Adam, parents, Summer, Brandon, each can have a chapter. Wouldn't that be an interesting read?
It would be, every chapter would be completely different, but it would be good.
so different.
Yeah.
So different. So, which would make it very interesting.
It would be a great book, no doubt about it.
Yep, I'm with you on that, Tammy. Great idea.
Now, if you can just convince everybody to do that,
good luck.
Good luck with that one.
Speaking of tragedies, Lee Roth is with us, finally catching a live from Israel. Sending much love to you all, and right back at you, Lee Roth. Am I saying, is it Lee or Leah? But anyway, right back at you, to a place of turmoil, whether you're in the battle zone or not. What a tough situation to be in over there all the time, but especially during a war. So our love and prayers to you too.
I sometimes I watch this Michael Rappaport. He comes on TikTok and he's in Israel right now, and he's just going off on just how crazy some of the stuff is, and it seems like there's a lot going on there. So yeah, stay safe.
Another question from Anna, our moderator, and Missy Holden, both of them. It takes two, and thank you very much for moderating for us. Anna asks, do you believe that the mental illness, religious hysteria, or power were the heart of the crimes?
Yes. Yes.
I have a different take on that. I think the heart of the crime was evil, and the religious hysteria, the mental illness, and the lust for power, the greed, were all influences. Okay, so, but those are outside influences. Evil is the decision you make inside. That's what I believe is a heart. It was evil inside of them, with all of these things being outside influences, is my belief there.
Yeah.
A serious one. So let's get back to, did you two watch the Super Bowl? Only game I watched in its entirety all season, because we went to a party at some friend's house.
You didn't leave, but even though it was double overtime?
I didn't leave. I loved it. I love seeing a good game. I like both teams. So
I was rooting. I wanted Purdy to win because he's from Gilbert, Arizona.
He's from Queen Creek, and great story.
Yeah, he's got a really good story. He's a religious kid. He's super nice. He's an underdog. I love underdog stories. Yep. So I was rooting for him. He played great. They played a good game. Really, in that game, the two things that really killed that game was the special teams. The punt hit that guy's leg, turned into a fumble. They recovered. Otherwise, I think they win the game.
Big difference.
And the extra point got blocked. Those two things were the big things. But great game. Yeah, Super Bowl was great.
Mm-hmm. And back to pickleball from Chena. Different topic, but I had my first pickleball class yesterday.
Yes.
All right. It was fun. She thought this would be a good place to share that. You are in pickleball-friendly territory, Shayna.
What's great about what I do for a living is I teach brand new people who have never even picked up a paddle to people who have been playing for years and years and years and develop bad habits it's my job to get the bad habits out of them, which is a challenge all in itself. But all levels of pickleball, you could just go out there with your friends and have a great time, or you could be super competitive and play tournaments. It goes from A to Z, but it's such a fun and addictive sport.
Mm-hmm. Very good. So Adam, this is from Kelly.
All right.
Do you think going to Chad's or Lori's trial will help you with your healing? And let me throw this in, if you don't mind, Kelly, if it's not imposing. Not going to Lori's trial as a witness, to testify, but if you attended the trial. I hope that's the correct context.
I think it would do more damage to me to be there than it would me not being there. I think it would not help me. It would help me heal less, I think, if I was at Chad's trial. Lori's trial, I might have to be there to testify, but just going and sitting, I have no interest in doing any of that. I don't think I can take it, to be honest with you.
It can get heavy, definitely.
Yeah, I don't think I'm there that I can do that.
And so that's our pass along. We aren't advising you, trying to tell anyone what to do, but use your conscience and do what's best for your mental health in all of this. You know, the whole reason we brought up this topic was for all of us to start preparing what we need to prepare individually. We're all different. Adam and I are different. We're all different in what we need to do to make this. It's going to be emotional, even if you try to stay away from it, but to make it um, personally, for you to make it through it and get what you need out of the trial. We're hoping this helps you put in your mind, okay, what do I want out of this trial? What do I need? Where do I have to not get involved? I shared with you that last time Lisa and I, well, until I went to the trial, stayed completely away of how the children were killed because we just didn't feel we could handle that. Well, I was put in the situation, found out. Lisa subsequently found out we had to deal with it. And of course, now we're on the other end of that, we feel. And not saying we're glad we went through it by any stretch, but we did make it through that. But we were wise, I think, to follow our own feelings in. And following those feelings, I still haven't seen that movie that I want to see, just because in my mind it's now associated with the same timing as finding out how the children died, the movie Sounds of Freedom. Just because in my mind, not in anyone else's mind, in my mind it's tied to it, and that makes it too heavy. It kind of tips the scales. Do what you need to do as this trial and any other trial you are dealing with in your individual lives. We know now in this community, virtually everyone is dealing with heavy, heavy stuff in their life and their family. Follow your own guidance to do what is healthy for you. Sorry, I had to get off.
You know what? But like I start thinking about that, what we don't know about us and how we're going to handle stuff. Like me and my son went to go see that movie, The Iron Claw. I mentioned this on another podcast, and it was about their family being cursed, and we looked at each other and we're like, "Is our family cursed?" kind of stuff. And so, like, you just don't know what you're going to see and what's going to trigger. Like, there were several times I wanted to leave that movie. I could imagine sitting in Chad's trial. I would just be a disaster. I just know for me, that's not a place I want to be.
Good call. So they shouldn't be there. Let me pass this on and a tribute to all the optimists that have donated and provided books to other people. Judy asked, she wanted to know if we got her email about a book getting donated. Judy, we got a comment on YouTube, I believe it was. I don't think, now Lindsay's in charge of this. Lindsay does a great job with this. If you would email again, rexandadam@gmail.com with your address. Tell us if you want a book, a Kindle,
yeah,
or even an audio. They're coming out. We don't know when those will be out. So give us your first and second choice on that, if you would, but include your address. So if it is a book, we'll know where to send it. Okay, we only have a few minutes left, trying to get to as many questions as we can.
Any other questions?
We have 5 still lined up.
Anything else?
From Kathy Somerville, Adam, death is so tough. I do by you.
Lay in bed at night and just think about them. Yeah.
And how life and how it should be now. I'm not sure that I read that first word right. I do that with my 2 sisters and the tears flow. Yeah, it is. It's heavy stuff we're talking about, really heavy, and affects all of us very individually.
Yeah, I had a bad day the last couple of days. And just like there's some days that are just still bad. But for the most part, every day's been okay. But sometimes there's just bad days.
Things just come up, trigger memories, different things.
Yeah.
Hey, Angela Henley said, I got through listening to Visions of Glory. I think Lori's statement was taken right from that book. It was crazy. I kept yelling at the recording.
What's weird about that whole thing is I never read that book, but I know Lori was talking about it all the time, trying to get everybody, oh, you got to read this book. It's the greatest book in the world. So Lori's all in on that book. And apparently a lot of other people have been all in on that book. So that makes complete sense to me that Lori would take something out of that book and keep rehearsing it and reciting it. So yeah, thanks, Angela.
And Angela, I don't think I've shared this completely. I shared that back in 1990 or 90-ish, there's a group that similar kind of preppers, fringe religious, some of them from the church, the LDS church, some not. But a couple of my friends got involved in that. And so they were sending me tapes, and I like to openly discuss it with them. I didn't sip any of the Kool-Aid, but I like to hear about it. Well, the books they were listening to, the near-death experiences, as soon as I found out that's what Lori was into, when Charles sent the email to family members trying to get help, I saw it. I said, good grief, that's what she's into. And I started looking, when I looked at a couple of Chad's books, he was just plagiarizing books that were being used at the time. He's not creative. I couldn't read any of his stuff because, one, it brought me back to that, and the Friends had a tough time during that. It wasn't anything like this. There were no murders I'm aware of from back then. But I tie the two together because it's the same old crap that has been going on the last 2,000 years since Christ ascended into heaven and said, and two angels said, hey, he's going to come again. That's from the Bible. So in Christianity, even back then, there were preppers. And before that was people preparing for Christ to come, and there were religious fringes. So that is heavy stuff, and Visions of Glory is just fueling that. So we have a text here from Kresha, and I've listened to Kresha's podcast, Difficult Research. She had Kay and Larry on. Kresha is Kay's daughter, and so that was enjoyable watching her. And she said, hey there, young chaps. I don't know who she's calling young. I think we're both like,
I don't care. I like that she called us young.
Hey there, young chaps. Good to see you guys. I just got here, but getting ready for her live stream in a few. Just wanted to say hi and thanks again for the support. Hashtag love always wins. Love that hashtag. And so you heard it, Kresha is going to be doing a live Difficult Research with cult capitalized on it. So thanks for checking in, Kresha. Good to hear from you. And thanks for doing that podcast with Kay and Larry. We can't say enough about them and the burden they carried through this whole thing. Let's see, we have time for a couple more questions. From Tammy Morgan, is Lori's trial for Charles a death penalty case? I have not heard that it is yet. I think it still could turn into one, but I have not heard that it is. No, I don't even know if it still could turn into one because that's a whole different preparation. So if it is, we are not going to see it start in August or any other time in 2024. No.
I think it's going to be a bunch of licenses all stacked up on each other.
Okay. Oh, I get a pickleball question before you quit. From Irish McGlass, can an older lady learn pickleball? I've been working out for a couple of years and lost 70 pounds since last year. I feel great.
First of all, congratulations on your weight loss.
Good job.
There was one point in my life where I lost 62 pounds and I went to bed starving every day. I know what it's like. I know the sacrifice it takes to lose weight. Oh my gosh, congratulations on that. And yes, a lot of my classes are older women who are really competitive in pickleball. They want to get good. So yes, definitely pickleball is something. It's good for your cardiovascular. You don't have to do a lot of movement. So yes, definitely try to find somebody to teach it to you, and then you'll enjoy playing it.
Or if you're rich, fly Adam in.
Yeah, you want me to be your personal trainer. There's a price to everything.
From Triple Q, do you know if the cult group that Lori and Chad belong to is still operating? I don't even know. Adam, you might have a different answer. I don't even know how to define the group. in my mind to this point, and I have suspicions that it extended further than this, but it was Chad, Lori, Alex, Zulema, the people that were around them that we know about. Okay. And that's loosely fitting a definition of a cult. Did they belong to something bigger? Possibly. Okay. I just don't know what it is. So is the cult still operating? Well, not the one where Chad and Lori are in charge, but maybe those people are out there. Maybe it is operating. Maybe they're communicating in prison. Things are happening. I don't think so. These are stupid people we're talking about. I don't think they're intelligent people, and I don't think they have pulled that off.
Yeah.
And I know stupid is a rough word to use to describe someone.
Dumb.
Look what they did.
Yeah.
So,
how dare you, Rex?
Yeah. All right. That's right on.
You keep that potty mouth quiet. Don't you say the word stupid.
I know that's rough. I'll hear about it from my
grandkids. Your grandkids, not your kids, your grandkids. You can't say stupid. Stupid's a bad word. Oh, sorry.
My kids are in their 30s and 40s. They'll rail on me. You said that not to say.
You said the S word. What? Stupid.
Yeah, we've been through that. Okay, Adam, you get the last word for this live.
All right. Last word. Thank you for everybody for doing what you're doing. Congratulations on all of us being alive today. I love this. Taking every day, day by day. For the people on our Facebook, if you haven't joined our Facebook group, make sure you try to join that if you want some real positive things in your life. I've read several positive things on a daily basis on that Facebook group. It's amazing. So use that. And just be kind to everybody. Try to love everybody. Be patient, which is my big thing. I'm saying that because this is what I need to work on, is being patient. And I think that's it. This Tuesday, do we have a podcast with the other side? What our videos that we did, or are we doing something different?
Do you want to confess to everyone that we don't know what we're doing again? Haven't we done that enough?
No, but I thought we had him on, and now we're doing
that's the plan.
Okay, good.
So let's talk when you can. I know it's not today. You've got to run off.
Tuesday we can get together.
Thanks for being with us, y'all.
All right.